So let's get to Peggy Noonan. She was on ABC's This Week with Bill Kristol was there. Keith Ellison, Congressman Keith Ellison, was there to provide somewhat of the sanity perspective. I think Jennifer Granholm is there. And in the middle of a flare-up, Peggy Noonan gets a dreamy, glinty look in her eye, and she is ready to share with the rest of the This Week panel, as well as all of America, a new vision that she's getting from the Reagan halo, Reagan head-shaped crystal ball that exists in her mind that only she can hear and see. And she's going to emerge from that reverie with an insight about the modern nature of the Republican Party. Keith Ellison's going to respond, and she's going to be a little bit hurt by what he says. Let's listen to this. A very short clip. Let's listen to this.
What is it actually? Go ahead, Peggy.
Just quickly, I think the Republicans right now are doing something very quietly that I think I would love to see the Democrats doing. Republicans, senators, governors are actually talking about governance. They're talking about ideas to change America, to bring the economy back. I see the Democrats not doing that, not doing ideas, not doing formulations
shut down
that
the
will be
government for
great.
16 days.
Oh,
they almost
come
threatened
on.
a default on the. I mean, they've been doing a lot of bad things.
I am not hearing ideas from the Democrats. I am hearing
anything in the House of
complaints.
Representatives.
Okay, so Keith Ellison says ideas like shutting down government, forcing us to default on our debt obligations, and she goes, "Oh, come on, Keith. Keith, if you could only walk with me inside." Where is this sound? I'm looking for it. Only if you could walk with me inside
Come with me,
a land.
and you'll be
A land where
world of pure
Paul Ryan is advocating welfare policies that resemble the 19th century, where
into your
he's quoting Charles Murray on how to deal with inner city poverty. And Charles Murray's our most revered mainstream white supremacist, where lawmakers in Utah are talking about bringing back firing squads, where climate change is denied and all we need is more privatization. And the new Benghazi subcommittee and other Republicans are saying, we have the numbers to impeach President Obama. You don't hear those things, Keith? You don't hear all of those wonderful ideas that I hear every night in a Reagan voice inside my head? Well, if you don't hear those things, oh, there it comes again. I'm seeing more. More. Newt Gingrich is still out there. There are poor kids that could be sweeping floors. We could bring back orphanages. We could have children from different districts compete in war games against each other. Oh, excuse me, that was a movie. I'm sorry, Keith. There's so many ideas out there. So many wonderful schemes. Look, can you believe that Peggy Noonan is still invited on This Week regularly?
Yes.
Right. And that's the problem is, yes, of course she's invited on This Week regularly. I mean, you're looking at and those are the marquee brands. If you looked at David Brooks and Peggy Noonan, those are like the Republicans that are supposedly still more civil, more thoughtful, more willing to kind of criticize their own side. And every column that David Brooks writes, David Brooks also has his own fantasy life. It just isn't quite as magical and ethereal as Peggy's. And every day they have to pretend that there's just this broad, beautiful world of Republican ideas and Republican innovation and Republican boldness that if only Democrats would stop being so mean, they could listen to, and we would make some real progress as a country. And it's just mind-boggling that every single week you hear this and every single week you see what Republicans are doing, which is Benghazi and, oh my God, please, insurance executives, can you show up at the House and make up some fake stats to cover our asses, because our whole agenda for the last several years has just been to try to kill the health care bill. And Peggy Noonan goes on this week and in her magic 8-ball, shaped like Reagan's head, says that they're producing wonderful ideas. That's it. And it's only Keith Ellison there to say, well, like shutting down the government. But she'll be on next week saying the same thing. It's unbelievable.